Yo, what is going on, friends, people of the outside world, from the United States of America to Canada to Mexico to Israel, Australia, South Africa, Madagascar, Japan, South Korea? Welcome, everybody, to the podcast. Thank you so much for joining me. India, what else we got? Italy, United Kingdom, Spain. What else? New Zealand. Welcome, guys. Welcome to another episode with me, your host, Michael Labs. The show is called Michael Labs Show because I'm an egotistical maniac. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this beautiful Tuesday. I hope everyone's doing well out there. It's been a wild week. Towards the end of April was just crazy. Like, a lot of shit happened. I'm going to show you guys, if you guys are on YouTube right now, I'm going to show you on the video. If you're not on YouTube, who cares? I don't care how you watch it. Just as long as you watch it, so I get views. Currently pausing my DoorDash right now. I have 33 minutes and 34 seconds left before I got to either end my DoorDash or resume my DoorDash so I can continue with my DoorDash. And it's been a good day. I made a lot of money today. I kind of went into that a little bit last episode, kind of like where I am right now in my life, like career-wise. Career is so weird. I could never see myself with a career, which I know is like a weird thing to say because a lot of people, they live and die by a career. I just don't, man. I decided recently, like, I don't care about that. Like, that shit means nothing to me. I just want to make money. I want to have enough money so I can invest enough money. So after 40, I'm good. I want to make enough money so right now I can do whatever the hell I want, whenever I want. I want the freedom. That's what I want. I just want the freedom. I just want to be able to do whatever I want, whenever I want, however I want. And currently right now, in the state that I'm working right now, I'm working 40 hours a week, door dashing, making more money than I was in my last job. I could do whatever I want, whenever I want. I can pause to go fuck around. I can go meet Taylor for lunch every single day. I can take the weekends off. Like, that's one thing I don't think people... I've never had a job where I've been off on the weekends. Like, I've worked in the restaurant industry, so my busiest days were the weekends. I worked in the fitness industry, which was, Saturday and Sunday. It's not closed, right? It's not a retail place. It's not like a business, like a B2B business. So I've never had weekends off, and that's something I've been, like, honestly falling in love with. I love this concept of just not working for like 2 days and just hanging out. And it's, it's cool for me because I have like, Taylor works, she works in the medical industry. So she has 5 days off, or she works 5 days. She's off 2 days. Just, that's how the doctors do it. And, so it's always been a thing, and it hasn't been a rift, but it's always been a thing in our relationship. Not even an issue, just, a conscious thing, something where it's like, oh, I have so many things, planned for this. No, not really, because I got to work, or I got to get a shift covered, or, we miss half the day because I have to, open at the gym, or I got to close the gym, or I picked up a double. At the restaurant, I'm stressed out all day, even though I have all day to do whatever I want, and I work in the evening. But, you're stressed out. And if you're somebody who's like in the restaurant industry, you know what I mean. Like, if you have a 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock shift, and it's like Saturday, you're about to like get slammed. Like, it's going to be super duper busy. So you're just kind of anticipating that. It's a whole thing. So it doesn't, in relationship, you want to spend time with the other person. And you don't want to just spend time, like, you want to spend quality time with a person. I'm lucky where our time together is just peaceful. We hang out, we chill. That's what we do. Like, we read. She's working on a project right now that I'm so excited to announce. I can't announce it now. She told me to don't say anything. And I won't say anything. This is her thing. This is what she wants to do. And it's something that ever since we first started dating, I've always told her, I said, hey, you need to do this. Like, I really think you should do this. I think you should do this for yourself. I think people want to hear your voice. Like, I think you're a powerful individual and you don't realize that. Like, you've been through shit. You're super intelligent. You have the credits to talk about things. So she came up, she just came up with this idea, and I love being a cheerleader. Like, it's my favorite thing to just get behind somebody and just be like, yo, do it. Do this thing, man. And I love doing that, like with my friends, or I don't know a lot of people who start their own things, but the people I do know who have their own things, I just get so pumped. Like, I get like excited. Like, there's a jolt that goes through me. Like, I was at the gym, Crunch Fitness off Electric Road in Roanoke, Virginia. And I saw, a guy walking around with like a video camera stand, and he was recording himself at the gym. And I love that stuff. Like, I love when people just do something that's an extension of outside of the norm. Like, that's just so exciting to me. And I was talking to Taylor about this. Like, I have an internet trail. What the hell? I just come in and out of like a different world. I have like an internet trail that just goes far back. I mean, I started on YouTube back in like, I guess I could look it up real quick here. Let me look it up real quick. I've been on YouTube, I want to say at least a decade, because I had my first ever podcast. Not podcast. Where is it? YouTube. Okay. YouTube is what I need. I had my first Call of Duty videos uploaded in 2013 so far is the oldest one I see here. This is back when YouTube was just it was so easy to grow on it. My first video I've ever uploaded to the public is a 62-3 domination on the map Stadium. 62-3 means 62 kills to 3 deaths. And like, this was Call of Duty. And I was, settled down. I still have to get music on it. Like, it's just so funny when you the description is, it is an old gameplay, but it's still a great game. Sub and like. It's just so wild to see, like, just where, like, like the different avenues I've been down. Whether I went from this, and then I went to vlogging, and then from vlogging I went to the clothing company, or no, I went to like then fitness vlogging and stuff like that. And then I went to my clothing company, and I've been doing the podcast now, I think for almost 3 years, 2019. Like, that's mind blowing. It doesn't feel that long. 250 episodes later, 50,000 plus downloads across all platforms, 56 countries it's been downloaded, or I think more than that. Let me see right here. 56 countries. I think it's important to have something that's an extension of yourself. That's not your job. That's not your relationship. That's not your, that's not your daily activity. It's almost like a creative thing. It's something that you can work on. It's like your own little home. And I think that's very important. I see a lot of people, struggle a lot in life, like whether it be with like mental illness, or whether it be with stress, or whether it be with anxiety. And it's like, you should take that energy and put it somewhere and just create. And like, you don't even have to do it for money. Like, I mean, seriously, like I'm making money on this podcast, but not a lot. Like, not a lot at all. But like, from this time to 3 years ago, I was making no money. I just got one of my best friends responded to one of my stories. He's like, "Hey man, you remember when we were talking about your podcast and you got like 1,000 downloads?" And I couldn't, and I was like, "Dude, I'm going to be at 50,000 downloads before I know." And then boom, I'm here. And it's like those, you don't realize in those moments that what you're doing is you're creating a future for yourself. I mean, this podcast has done so much more than just entertain people. It's taught me so much about myself. It's taught me about my weaknesses, my flaws, my strengths. I've been able to, like, the thing is, when you talk for an hour a week to yourself, which is what I'm doing, you figure things out, and like, I remember I started this podcast after therapy because I realized I can figure out a lot of things on my own. I just need to talk. I need to hear myself. And then by doing that, I literally was like, well, fuck it. Let's get it out to people too. Maybe other people have issues I have. Maybe other people are struggling, and maybe if I can help one or two people, like I've changed a life, and I have. I've had people reach out to me, like, powerful messages about my podcast and how it's helped them. And that, that's you don't expect that going into it. But that's my thing with, like, passion projects. I think everyone should do one. And I'm just so proud of her for putting this thing together. It's like, it's incredible. And me, I'm a cheerleader, so I'm just sitting on the sideline, like, I'm so pumped to promote this thing, help her get her name out there. Like, I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud of her. Like, when you just think about people in your life, and you're like, you just see them as something that they just currently don't see themselves as. Like, I see her as just a magnificent, like, queen of a human being, the kindest soul that I've ever met. Just so relatable, just so caring to everybody. Like, when I tell people, like, she does not judge people. Like, she doesn't. I judge people. That's a character flaw, maybe. I don't know. But, like, I judge people. She doesn't do that. Like, literally, like, the weird people in the world are just attracted to her. And that's what makes me just so excited about what she's doing. But I don't want to get too much into it because it's her stuff. I don't want to blow up her spot. But I do want people to realize, like, what I've done with my podcast is going to be 1/10 of what she does with her project. Because when she does something, I'm much more of, like, I take the lead where it's like, I want to do it, let's just do it, and then figure out as we're walking down the path. Like, when I started this podcast, there was a guy, and I think it was like VM Fitness. But him and I were really tight. We still are tight. I mean, he started this podcast with me. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. Like, like, when I start something, I go, I want to do this, and then I just do it. I order the things I need, and I just start doing it, but I don't know how to do it. But I figure it out eventually. Like, what I've realized starting a few companies, starting a few projects, is that if you have all the right pieces, but you don't have the want to do it, it's not going to happen. But if you have the want and the passion to do it, the pieces will fall into place eventually. It might take time, but eventually it will fall into place. And, like, you can't do 250 plus episodes if you don't care about it. And, like, that was one thing that was really bothering me when I took a hiatus for like 2-3 months because of some fucking job that I was in a trance that I wanted this, but I didn't want this. It was just given to me, and I was like, fuck, let's take it. But no, dude, like, no, we're not doing that. Like, the next job I get is going to be a remote position, so I can stay home, I can hang out, I can get a dog maybe. Because I want a dog so bad right now. I miss my fucking dog. Like, I mean, that's something that if I talk about, too much, I will start crying, because it was something that was just so, I've had dogs my entire life. And I love them. I love them. They're an amazing animal. Nothing against any other animals, rabbits, geckos, snakes, cats, but a dog just looks at you in a way that makes you just feel so. I think what the feeling I get is, like, that dog needs me, and it doesn't know how much I need it. Like, it has no idea. But I know it knows it needs me, because when it's hungry, it comes up and bothers me. It needs to get fed. When it's thirsty, it'll come up and bother me. When it's attention, it comes up and bothers. It's like a girlfriend. I'm just kidding. Girlfriends are not dogs. But so they give you this sense of, maybe it comes from a place of just pure, like, ego, but it gives you this sense of purpose. It gives you this sense of meaning. And in a world where like, the goal, I don't know if it's a goal, but where so many things are intended to like strip you down from who you are, whether that be like an HR department at a fucking company that tells you gotta fucking wear something, or whether it be like going to like a school and like they put you in like this little trance of like you're a Hokie for life or you're a Tiger for life, like this bullshit where it's like, or you got to act a certain way, or you can't say jokes, or you know you can't. I mean, I'm a wild person, like, and I can't be that person in a lot of areas of my life, and it's like, but with a dog, you just can be yourself, and it loves you. It loves you so much, and it gives you such a sense of meaning. It really does, and it's a weird thing. And I might start crying here in this segment, but and you don't realize when you get this creature that bond is gonna grow, but it does. And I remember with Riley, like, I love that dog so much. Like, that dog wasn't mine. I mean, that dog was Taylor's dog. It lived at college with her. But I felt like that dog was my dog. And, you know, I'm sorry. When we got her, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know how to, oh shit. I've always had dogs, so I didn't know what it meant to have a dog that was like my dog. And it's just everything from the way it looks at you, from the way it acts around you, and like the way, if there's like a lot of people in the room and how it comes up to you and it treats you a certain way, it just, there's this overwhelming of sense of like, I belong, like I mean something to somebody. And I get that way with like, with Taylor, and I get that way with my family, and I get that way with like this podcast, and even door dashing. Like, I'm a fucking full-blown nerd when it comes to door dashing right now. Like, I'm a lunatic, and it sounds so dumb, but I don't care anymore, bro. Like, I don't care anymore. But so like this, fuck, what was I even talking about, dude? I was just looking at, like, a picture popped up on my phone today of Riley, and that day when we had to put her down, that was the most confusing day of my life. And you say what you want, like, I know I don't have kids, and I know it's like, Mike, it's just a dog, like, get over it. It's like dogs come and go, but no, not her. Like, not her. It's like people who have kids. It's like, you don't understand my kid. Like, my kid is just incredible. It's like, no, you're right. I don't understand your kid, but like, I don't know. She would just lay on me, and she would, come up and kiss me. She would look at me when she was annoyed with me, and she would be like, "The fuck are you doing?" She would get mad at me. She would get sassy with me. And I just remember, like, she would do this thing where she would run up and she would jump up on, her back legs would be on the ground, but her two front paws would be up underneath of my chest. And she would just be looking at me, like, straight up, like that. And I was like, "Hey, I love you. Like, you're a wonderful dog, and I don't ever want anything to happen to you." And, there's there's sometimes, like, if you're about to get punched in the face, it's not as bad if you know that the potential of getting punched in the face is upon you. But getting sucker punched pisses you off, and it freaks you the fuck out. I've never been punched, but I'm just assuming that's my analogy I've come up with. But when you have a dog and you don't see any side effects, anything, and then it just dies at your hands because you got to put it down. It, especially when you love it more than anything else, it's hard, man. It's hard. It's not easy. And I have so much respect for those people who, I don't know, but I want a dog, but this is my thing, is I want a dog, but I can't have a dog. It has nothing to do with anybody else. It's because the way really fucked up my relationship with dogs. I've always had dogs in my life, but the dogs I've had, they've been like, family dogs. So they stay at home while people are at work. Someone comes home. But like with Riley, she was used to Taylor all the time at college. And when I was with her 24/7, and I like that. Like, that's the kind of dog dad I want to be again. And I can't be that way because I need to make money, and like Taylor's going to be at work all day, and I don't want the dog to be home all day. I want the dog to know like, hey, I love you to death. You're a sweet creature. And I also kind of feel like a guilt already, which is kind of silly, but I feel this guilt like the next dog I get, I won't love as much as my first dog, as Riley. And like this, it's a fucked up thought, but like, do parents get that way with like your firstborn? Like, do you love your? I'm just kidding. But like, it's you know, she was just so perfect in every single way, and I miss her, and I love her, and. But, you know, at the same time, it's like you learn these things, and it made me a harder person, or not a harder person, but it made me appreciate things more than I ever had. Made me slow down, kind of, maybe, I don't know. I like to think that she did that. But I posted a picture today of her on Instagram, and it's just, you know, she's just smiling there, you know, just looking at me, and yeah, I don't know. I miss her. But shit dies. That's how I cope with things. I mean, that's how I cope with a lot of things. I make fun of things. I laugh at things. You know, I don't want to get too inside baseball. But I do want to talk about a few things. And I think they're kind of important topics maybe. I think I want to talk a little bit about Elon Musk. Shocker, shocker. Wearing a SpaceX hat, and I want to talk about Elon Musk. Who would have ever guessed that? Not me, because I don't talk about him ever. No, I talk about him pretty much every single episode. But it's been about 2 weeks now since he bought Twitter, and I don't know where it's at right now. I'm recording this on the 29th of April, so I don't know where he is in the process of with Twitter. I don't know if he's made any changes to it, but I do know he bought it for $44 billion, and I think it's his second biggest individual purchase, or second biggest purchase. I don't know, something like that. I saw it somewhere. But there's this, I don't really know. There was this sense during the pandemic where, and I'm going to get political here. So if you don't want to hear that, like, don't listen. And I'm going to say things that are wrong. I'm going to say things that are right. No pun intended. I'm just going to speak honestly what I believe is happening. You know, you can't push something. If you push anything too far, it bounces back. And like if you pull a rubber band, the farther you pull it, the harder it snaps back. You know, if you pull back just a little bit, it snaps back a little bit, you know, but not crazy. But if you pull a fucking rubber band back super, super fucking hard, you let go of that thing, pop, it leaves a huge welt on your leg. And that's what's happening right now. You know, that's what's happening right now in this country. And it's astonishing that there's so many things happening in this country right now that are so obvious to me. And I'm not a genius. I'm not smart. But like, I think there was this idea during the pandemic, during the Trump administration, during the Biden administration, where they treat the people like they're dumb, you know, and like they're not as smart as they give us credit for. Like when Donald Trump and Joe Biden were passing these $1 trillion packages, just shutting down jobs, keeping, you know, Target open, keeping like Kmart open. Who goes to Kmart? But like keeping like Food Line open and like grocery stores like that open. There was this sense of like, what the fuck? What the fuck? But like Little Joe's can't keep their grocery store open, but fucking Kroger can keep their grocery stores open. There was this sense of what the hell are you doing? But they told us it was for us. It was for us. This is for your guys' safety. You know, you want to kill grandma. Like that was a thing. My view is, yeah, I want to fucking kill grandma. Some grandmas are pieces of shit, dude. Some grandmas got away with murder, bruh. Some grandmas are old enough to be Nazi sympathizer, bro. They should be dead. Especially them grandpas, dude. Some grandpas probably came here straight from Hitlerland. Straight from fucking Joseph Stalin. Kidding. Those are jokes. But that, you know, there was this ideology that if you weren't on the side of Donald Trump, you're an idiot. Or now it's like, if you aren't on the side of homeboy Joe Biden, you're a fucking fascist. You're a racist. If you voted for Donald Trump, you're a racist. If you voted for Joe Biden, you're a socialist. And like, none of that's true, and none of that's been true. Like, the fear mongering that went around during the pandemic, none of that was true. Like, this idea that we all had to wear masks, but then, you know, they came out and said masks don't really do anything unless you have an N95. And like, that's true. Like, people say it, like doctors say that. Like, not just doctors, but like, I think like the lady at WHO even said that. But like, this is common knowledge. The vaccines didn't work, right? They didn't work at all. They might keep a few people alive. That's good. That's good. They keep more people out of the hospitals. That's fine. All that's fine, but that's not what they told us. They lied to us. And then the argument comes. Then the argument is, they didn't lie to you. They just told you what their data showed. Well, guess what? They shouldn't be reporting any information with that amount of data. They need to get longer data. They need to do a longer study, because what you shouldn't do is put out a faulty product that's 80% successful over waiting a longer period and putting out a product that's 95% effective. Like, that's what it should be. And then like, this idea that like, they just covered up any injuries of people that got the vaccine is like, if you said anything about like I remember people would ask me like about the vaccine. I'd be like, if you want to get it, yeah, but like, it's up to you. I didn't tell anybody to get the vaccine, nor would I ever tell anybody to get the vaccine. That was crazy. But they were telling people like, get this fucking vaccine, and if you don't, you hate America. It's like just wild shit. And like, even like, I don't know, but like, there was this dumbing down of the way the politicians talk to normal people. And it was a cesspool on Twitter. Twitter was a shithole, dude. It was a shithole, because Twitter is the rules are based off of ideologies. And right now, the popular thing to be is someone who's woke, someone who's on the far left. I would argue that being woke means nothing, because I'm not an asshole to anybody, but I'm not fucking woke. I don't treat people like they're special. Like, what the fuck is that? I don't care who you are. I don't care what sex you are, race. You're not special. You're a human being. You're the same as everybody else. But like, this idea, like, you got to treat like disabled people like more special, like trans people more special. It's like, fuck out of here, dude. Like, what are you talking about? You're not more special because you're different than I am. Like, you're still a human being. And I'm a white dude I know, whatever. I'm a fucking piece of shit. And I'm not dumb. I understand a minority group. I get it. But people don't like to be talked to like that. And it went so radically to one side, and now it's flipping, dude. And I remember when I think Texas passed that abortion law where you couldn't have an abortion after 6 months. I turned right to Taylor. I told her, I could get on a podcast. She would agree. I said, the tide has just flipped. The tide has just flipped. Because the left was doing these crazy things, like literally defunding the fucking police. What are you guys doing? Are you guys like definitionally retarded? Like, are you guys that dumb? Defunding the police in some of the biggest cities in the whole country? New York City, Seattle, Portland, Chicago? You're going to defund the police. Did you forget, like, people who commit crime? Like, the reason why they commit crimes is because they're desperate, and sometimes they're not mentally healthy, and sometimes they're bad people. Like, did you forget that? Did you forget, like, some people don't commit crimes because of police, and now there's lacking of police? But, like, these were real things, and they just weren't ideas. They actually implemented them. And when they implemented them, people started getting fucking shot up, bro. Like, crime rates in all the biggest cities went up, and no shit. No shit. Of course. It's like if you put like if you don't put a wall, I was gonna say on the border, but if you don't put like a wall around a house, the likelihood of someone breaking into your house goes up. No shit. If you don't have cops in a city where there's millions of people with differing levels of intelligence and mental health and addictions, there's going to be crime. There's going to be crime. And then if you remove the cops, there's going to be higher crime. And I know, like, there's Michael Mouse's of the world, and they believe anarchy, and like, that's not true. Blah, 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 blah. I get it. That's fine. But like, from my perspective, it's an equation that makes perfect sense. If you take away the police, crime's going to go up. That's just what I think. Call me an idiot. That's fine. I don't care. And then there was like, there's just a lot of these like very left leaning ideas. Like, you know, you have like a woman is a woman. Like if I'm a man and I say I'm a woman, I'm a woman. It's like biologically you're still a man, but I will call you a woman. It's like, no, but like that idea like was out the window. There was just like a lot of these rules that were, you know, people started getting upset. And then the election happened. And Joe Biden won. That's fine. That's good. I didn't vote for him. I didn't vote for Donald Trump either. Shocker. I think a lot of people look at me and they hear me talk and they think I'm a fucking crazy, far-right, crazy motherfucker. I'm not. I don't fuck with those people, bro. Those fucking crazy-ass gun people, don't fuck with them. Don't trust them. I could tell you one thing. Living in Virginia, every person I've seen with a gun on their belt, which is only 2 people, I look at those people and I go like, they should not have a gun on their belt. They should. I need a gun on my belt if they're going to have a gun on their belt, because that motherfucker looks like he just got back from Columbine. See, I judge. But like, dude, I saw a dude with a wolf yesterday in Sam's Club. Like a legit wolf. I live in the fucking goddamn. I don't know where I live. I don't know what I moved to, but I'm here. I'm here, motherfucker. I don't get down with all that Catholic bullshit. I don't think drugs should be illegal. I don't think abortion should be illegal. I think you should be able to abort a kid at 8 months, fucking throw them like a goddamn football. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. No, but like there's so many things on the far right that I don't believe in. I don't believe in a lot of shit on the far left either. Like fuck that shit. I don't think everything should be given to you. I don't think you should get a weekly fucking stipend from the government. Fuck those people. They can't do shit. Dude, they can't even. That was another thing that happened. They gave out $6.2 trillion or more than that, whatever. I don't know. But like to like give to Americans. And then, you know, you remember the thing with Elon Musk? That's kind of what I'm trying to get to eventually. But we got an hour, bro, so we got to fill up the time, if you know what I mean. The whole thing that went down with Elon Musk, where he put out a tweet, he said, if they can tell me the steps I need to take to end world hunger, I'll sell my stock. I'll do it. They never said anything. These fuckers don't, because you can't solve world hunger. Because Lex Friedman had a beautiful guy on his podcast. I forget his name. But basically, the guy was saying, he said, world hunger is not because we lack food. World hunger is because dictatorships run countries. Yemen, Sierra Leone, North Korea, Somalia, it's not Siberia. It's Russia. That's still a dictator. Syria. These places are run by dictators. And one of the best ways to keep people under your thumb is you starve them. You don't give them food. And when they don't have food, they can't do shit. So I don't care how much money you give to those countries. The dictator's going to pocket it. They're not going to give it to the people. So money's not the solution. But if money was a solution, all these people going after Elon Musk and all these billionaires, people hate billionaires all of a sudden. I don't understand why. And like these fucking people who hate billionaires use their goddamn products. Like, how do you think you become a billionaire? You create a service or product that's better than everybody else's. And people buy it. People hate Jeff Bezos, but hate when the package shows up 2 days instead of 1 day. What? People hate Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple. People hate Tim Cook. People hate the disasters that go on with like child slavery working in China and Taiwan and Mexico and Venezuela. But they buy Nike. But they buy Apple phones. And they call these billionaires corrupt. Don't buy their product. Because the quickest way to hurt a billionaire is stop buying their product. Because if you know anything about their wealth is in assets. They own a piece of a company. They started the company. They get 20% of the company. So as the number of stocks that are outstanding, there's a limited number. As those stocks appreciate, and they only appreciate when the product does better, which means you're buying more of the product goes up. The value of the company goes up. When the value of the company goes up, the value of the individual stock goes up because more people are buying. When more people are buying, there's less of the product, in this case a stock, so part of a company. When there's less of a part of a company, it becomes more expensive. It's like basic, it's supply and demand. That's all it is. So like if you really hate Elon Musk, if you really hate Tim Cook, if you really hate Jeff Bezos, if you really hate Bill Gates, stop working. Get off your phone. If you hate Mark Zuckerberg, stop using Facebook. But people won't do that because they love him. They love the billionaires, bro. People love billionaires. And I always see this shit like they don't pay the fair share in taxes. Like, motherfucker, like, oh my God, you don't pay taxes on assets, you dummies. Like, come on. Do we not know this? And then people say, well, they should. It's like, well, that's fine, but that's not the billionaire's fault. Talk to Congress about that. But listen here. Listen here, you goddamn crazy Marxists out there. Listen here. It will never work. Your local Congress is never going to fix it. Why? Oh, I'm gonna teach you. Why? Because those people are invested in those companies. So, if they put taxes on people who own assets, guess who's going to have to pay taxes? Your congressmen and congresswomen. And I don't care if you're left. I don't care if you're right. Guess what happens? Because both parties can agree on one thing, their personal finances. Everybody's conservative when it comes to money. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. You don't tax an asset unless you sell the asset. If it appreciates and then you sell it, you sell capital gains tax, long-term or short-term. If you get a dividend, you pay income tax because there's cash coming to you. You pay taxes on that. But guess what? You don't pay taxes on something that you haven't sold because it could crash. And then what do you pay taxes when something's $80 when you bought it for $100? No, you don't pay taxes on it. You've already lost $20 times whatever number of stocks. And here's another thing. If congresswomen and congresspeople weren't allowed to pay, if they weren't allowed to be in the stock market, guess who else is in the market? Every bank that you bank at, they have an investment firm. And those investment firms' job are to make revenue for Morgan Stanley, for Goldman Sachs, for JP Morgan, for Bank of America, for BYN Mellon, for MBS, UBS, I think. But like, they have investment sides where they take your money and they reinvest your money. And they make money off of that. And on top of that, like, what do you think pension plans are based off of? What do you think your 401k is invested in? You can't do that. And you can't go after billionaires and calling them like corrupt because it's not them. They create a product that people love. Stop buying their fucking product, idiots. Like, that's the one thing that really does bother me because I think the reason why it bothers me is because it's just the I think it's like the ignorance that drives me crazy. You have no idea what you're talking about. But they went so far to the left, and then you became elected. And mind you, I love the left. Like, I really do. I like a lot of the ideologies. I really do. I love what do I love? Let me look it up. Democratic ideas. I don't like a big government. Yeah, I hope the economy's strong. Democrat Party beliefs. That's what I need right there. Promote social programs. Love that. I love welfare. I love that. I'm totally down for universal health care. I don't think you should forgive people's students' loans. It's your fault, you fucking dummy. You were 18 when you went there. You should know what you're doing. Labor unions. Yeah, I'm down for that too. Consumer protection. Yeah. Workplace safety regulation. Is that really... that's not a Democratic view. Well, maybe it is because Republicans are, a lot of time Republicans are just straight up capitalists, and they probably want to make as much money as possible. Equal opportunity. Yeah, that's fine. I agree with that. Disability rights. Yep. Racial equality. Equity. Yep. Regulations against environmental pollution. That's fine, but never going to work. Criminal justice reform. Yep. I'm down for that too. So I guess I'm a Democrat. That's the one thing I do want to talk about. Like this whole idea of, look at this, world's most polluted cities in 2021. Are you ready for this? This is going to blow your fucking mind because people do not pay attention to any of this shit. Okay, here we go. So, how let me just finish my thought on that. We're at a point now where everything's the ban's going back. It's been snapped, and it's all started with Governor Abbott and the 6-week abortion thing. Governor DeSantis did something. You know, some states are considering banning it. I think like Oklahoma is one of them. Like Kansas maybe. Disney's getting fucked by Governor DeSantis right now. And like it's going the other way. Like the goddamn Catholics, it's their turn now. And that's what happened with Twitter. It went so far one way, people forgot that like money is more powerful than anything. And Elon Musk is the richest dude in the world. He bought out Twitter. And there's going to be equity on both sides now. Equity on both sides. It was once run by ideologies where if you believed in one thing, even though it wasn't harmful to anybody, you were kicked off the platform. That's just not going to exist anymore. And I also think it's going to be a huge thing for him because I think it's going to be a net positive because there's a lot of bots on Twitter and these bots run the world. Like there's companies in China and Russia where we do it too, where you create bots on social media platforms to make stuff seem larger or smaller, more important or less important than they actually are in the country. And I think as time goes on, he's going to get rid of those people. He's going to verify everybody, which I think is fucking mad genius. He's going to hopefully change it to like a subscription-based model. We got to pay for it, maybe $1 a month. That would be fine because then you get a bunch of idiots off the platform. But like this whole environmental thing where it's like people get so mad at America they think like we have like horrible metrics for pollution. Like they think like we're polluting the world. It's like that's not true. Like the countries that are polluting the world are like India, number one, fucking China, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Turkey. It's just always so weird to me when I see that little who's that girl? Greta Thunberg. She's always like going after our fucking government. Just saying how like we suck with like our ability to protect what's she angry about now? Like Greta Thunberg. She's completely missing, okay, so she's publishing the ultimate guide to climate. Have aim to drive the climate book. That's hilarious. Greta Thunberg calls out people in power for posting their love on Earth Day. So like she just gets angry, and it's like she's going after the wrong people. Like if you actually cared about the planet, you'd go after like India, you'd go after China, you'd go after Pakistan. Because here you go. Let me just show you something. I don't think we're even in. Okay, so yeah. Actually, I can't. What the fuck? We have Ware, California is the most polluted city in America. Where is that though? That's crazy. I've never even heard of that. I would think it'd be like New York City. Yes. So the most polluted city in the United States is Wareville, USA. And this is 2021. It has an overall rating of 34.7. So 34.7 is its overall rating. And if you look at all, India, Bhiwandi, India, 106.2. Pakistan, India, China. You don't even get to a country. Let's see, when you get to your first United States country. India, China, Kazakhstan. My name is Borat. What else we got here? Bosnia, her something. South Africa. So you can see a lot of these countries that have bad air quality are countries that aren't like capitalistic yet, because capitalism does help a lot with the environment, because capitalism puts rules and regulations into things. Still nothing. We're in the top 250. We still Thailand's one of them. Still China, India, Pakistan, Serbia, so Serbia. What else we got here? Let's see if we made it in the top 300. Nope. Vietnam. I don't even know what this is. I don't know what country this is. Chumrap. What is Chimrap? I gotta look up what Chimrap is. Warren. It's in Thailand. Ooh, looks rough. Looks pretty, but rough. What else we got? We got whatever country that is. Iran, Bosnia again, India again, Iran again, China, India, Afghanistan, Qatar. That's one of them. I wouldn't think Qatar would be in there. Let's see if we're in the top 350. We have to be in the top 350. There we go. Yeah. Okay, so the first United States country, 330 in the world in terms of pollution. Like, come on, guys. You guys, like, Nepal's up there, Chile's up there. Wonder if we're in there again for the top 350. No, we don't have another state. We don't have another country until you get to 402, which is Lake Alamanor. Lake Alamanor? Lake Allen Amor in California. Like, you guys gotta realize, like, this country is fucking America's beautiful goddamn country. People, like, forget about that. People think this country's the worst. Like, nah, dude. Like, this country's the best. It really is. You live in a great country. And, like, people don't realize that. I don't think people care. I think people are just so angry about things. But, like, if you are somebody who's just thinks that they're, like, I mean, I see people's pages. I see it on both sides where people who think Republicans are fucking terrible people. That's not true, man. It's not true. And I see Republicans who think leftists, they call them socialist idiots. It's not true either. Like, I have family that believes that. Like, that's not true. Like, I got in an argument with one of my family members because, like, she was telling me, she's like, I'm just so afraid of your mom being a cop and everything. And, like, the lunatic liberals out there, like, if they stay in power, all the cops are going to get killed. I'm like, hey, my mom's a cop, but, like, she's not in danger. Like, actually look at the numbers. Like, yeah, she's in danger, but not really. Like, let's be honest here. Let's talk. Like, legitimately, let's talk. It's not as crazy as people think it is, but we're, like, led to believe that. And I think with the acquisition of Elon Musk and Twitter, I think that's going to change the game. I think it's a great thing. I personally do. I think it's amazing. I think it's going to help out a lot. A lot. I just farted. Hopefully you didn't hear that. Hopefully you did hear that. But, yeah, he bought Twitter. That's a great thing. It's fascinating because a lot of people that have always liked Joe Rogan, Elon Musk, those two people, I've been listening to Rogan for like the past 5-6 years. I've been listening to Elon Musk and I've been obsessed with him for like since 2013. It's like 9 years, almost 10 years ago. And like to see them hit these levels of popularity, it's just crazy, especially Rogan. Like, I remember the first time I watched a Rogan episode and I got done, I was like, holy shit, this guy is going to be the biggest thing in the whole world. Was during the first time he had Elon Musk on. That must have been 3 or 4 years ago. I remember watching that, I was like, holy shit. Because I was like, he's got the world's richest human being on a talk show, not an interview, like not like a television CNBC or CNN or Fox interview. No, this is a dude who just smokes pot and drinks, he gets hammered, he's dirty. I've seen him live. He's a dirty comedian. He says some fucked up shit. And these two guys are just chatting with Jamie in the room. I knew like the tides were changing. I knew Elon was going to the stratosphere. I knew Rogan was going to be big, but I did not know Rogan was going to get as big as he's gotten. I mean, that dude is like, everything he says is listened to by the whole world. Like, I could type in his name right now. I'll type it in right now. I'll just put in Joe Rogan. What's going on today? Joe Rogan calls Amber Heard a crazy lady full of shit, size with depth. Annoying Mike Tyson is like headbutting a beehive, Joe Rogan says. Spotify still grew despite Joe Rogan's boycotts and Russian closure. Watch the exciting moment Joe Rogan finds out Elon Musk bought Twitter. Sky News Australia, New York Post, Yahoo Finance, Marca, Jacobin, CNN, Yahoo Finance, The Verge, Insider, News International, Newsweek, Essentially Sports. Just like, I mean, Hollywood Reporter, Vulture, Cinema Blend, Outkick, Clutch Points, KESQ, Neiman, Sportskeeda, the Sports Rush. Like, he's internationally known now. And I think COVID was like the reason for that huge explosion in him. I mean, he didn't agree with the vaccines. He didn't get the vaccine. He just took off. He became like this figure, and I think he still is like this figure that if you are, I mean, I see memes all the time of like it's like memes of women, and you know, they talk like, your boyfriend listens to Rogan, like don't talk to him, or like, you know, like this idea that people who listen to Rogan are fucking idiots. Like, that's not true, bro. Like, that's crazy, because if that's true, then like you're calling Lex Fridman an idiot. You're calling like Steven Pinker an idiot, Jordan Peterson an idiot, Neil deGrasse Tyson an idiot. Like, these are not idiots. These are physicists. These are smart people. Neuroscientists. These are some of the smartest people in the whole world. Eric Weinstein. These are smart people. You just don't agree with them. And like, that's another thing. I think people have forgotten how to like disagree with people. Like, when I disagree with somebody, I go, okay, that's fine. But I don't like get up. I don't go like full Karen, but people go full Karen now. People just lose their minds. Like, you don't fucking agree with me. You're a piece of shit. You're racist. It's like, no. I'm not racist. You just don't agree with me. That's all. That's all it is. That's all it is. Like, people cannot rationalize that. They think everyone should just agree with them. It's like, nah, dude, that's not how it works. It's not how it works. Thank God. Because if everyone did agree with everybody, it'd be like fucking North Korea up in here. I don't know. Maybe not that intense, but it would be nuts. It would be stupid. We're coming down to the end of the podcast here. I do have to edit this sucker up. I think I'm going to come down to an end. We didn't do an hour. We got close, though, to an hour. It's hard, dude. An hour podcast just with me is hard. Especially when you cry, man. When you cry, it's like, fuck. Fuck, it's hard. I don't know. I might put that as a clip, though, to get me some views. I'm kidding. I'm a piece of shit. I'm a real piece of shit. But shout out to Taylor. I can't wait. I'm going to have her on. She's going to talk about what she's doing. I think it's fucking fantastic, because what she's talking about is something that I think people do not talk about. People need to talk about a lot more. But that's been it, guys. I don't really have much more to get in. I don't want to ramble on for too long. Almost an hour. Close enough. 53 minutes. But thank you guys so much for listening to the podcast. That was episode 250-something. I got to go DoorDash. I got to go hustle. I got to go apply for online remote positions. And I got to fucking live my life, bro, because I love you people. Thank you guys so much for all the support that you give me to the podcast. Keep listening. Subscribe. Tell your friends and family about the podcast. It's still the number one way a podcast grows, is through your mouth, your voices. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for listening. I'll catch you guys next week in May. Peace out.